Prayers.
Almighty God, who in your infinite wisdom and providential goodness has appointed the offices of leaders in parliaments for the welfare of society and just government of humanity, we beseech you to look upon with your abundant favor these your servants, whom you've been pleased to call performance of such an important trust in this land. Let your blessings descend upon them here assembled, and grant that they may, as in your presence, treat and consider matters that shall come under their deliberation in so just and faithful a manner as promote your honor and glory and advance the good of all those whose interests you've committed to their charge. Amen.
Item 2 on the order paper, communication from the chair.
Honourable members, I welcome you to this afternoon sitting. We are sitting under unusual circumstances because one of our colleagues has died. But I want to thank you for coming to give support and for supporting the family all these days. I would like to announce the following messages. A message from the Chair, actually Parliamentary Group, Professor Ogenga Latigo, to the family. The candidates for IALA, the NRM candidates for IALA, Honorable Musamali, Honorable Akol, Honorable Namara, Honorable Mujenyi, Honorable Dong, and Matthias Kasamba. They have enclosed 1 million shillings as contribution towards the funeral. Honorable Vigirwa, the Ugandan Parliamentary Association, they send their condolences and they have contributed 300,000 Uganda shillings. The Democratic Party headquarters from the Office of the Secretary General, they also send their condolences and they pray that her soul rests in eternal peace. Honorable Lucy Akelo, the chairperson of the Catholic Parliamentary Chaplaincy, they have also contributed 300,000 shillings and they have sent a message of condolence and support. Uganda Association of Sacred Heart Alumni, this from the old girls of Kangola SS and Kalungu GTC under this umbrella, and they have sent a condolence message of 100,000 shillings. Honorable Tinka Simire, on behalf of the Munyoro Caucus, sent their message. The money will be, you'll be informed about the amount of money later. Honorable Ruth Nankabirwa Sentamu, the government chief whip, where Honorable Anne belonged, they have also sent their message. And a sum of Uganda shillings 1 million will be given to the family towards the burial expenses. Thank you very much. We'll read the other messages as they come in.
Item.
There's no procedure today.
No, the matter was resolved.
Honorable Atiku Bernard, on behalf of the West Nile Group, has also sent a condolence message, and they say they gave in 1,400,000 shillings to support the family.
The casket is transferred from the central lobby to the chamber. Honorable members, please stand up.
Yes, you can sit anywhere you want today.
the Uganda anthem, national anthem, and then the East African national anthem. Honorable members, please resume your seats. Item 4 on the order paper, laying of wreath on the casket by dignitaries in the following order. We begin with the Right Honorable Speaker. His Excellency the Vice President. The Right Honorable Prime Minister and Leader of Government Business. the leader of the opposition in Parliament. The government chief whip. The chief opposition whip. To be followed by the Minister for Presidency. To be followed by a representative of the NRM Secretary General. Followed by a parliamentary commission representative. Followed by the chairperson, Health Committee. Followed by the chairperson, HIV/AIDS and related matters. Followed by the chairperson, Parliamentary Pension Scheme. Followed by the Uganda People's Congress sweep. Followed by a representative of the pensions, that Board of Trustees pension, Parliamentary Pension Scheme. To be followed by the Democratic Party whip. Followed by the Uganda Women Parliamentary Association representative. followed by the Karamoja Parliamentary Group. Followed by the Karamoja Women Members, Karamoja Women Parliamentarians. Followed by the Workers' Caucus. Followed by the West Nile Parliamentary Group. West Nile Parliamentary Group. Followed by Lango Parliamentary Group. Followed by Acholi Parliamentary Group. Acholi Parliamentary Group. Followed by Ankole Parliamentary Group. Followed by Rwenzori Parliamentary Group. Followed by Uganda Parliamentary Group. Followed by Kigezi Parliamentary Group. Kigezi Parliamentary Group. Followed by Greater North Parliamentary Group. Greater North. Followed by Teso Parliamentary Group. Teso Parliamentary Group, followed by Bukedi Sub-Region. Buked Sub-Region, followed by a representative from the Catholic Parliamentary Chaplaincy. Followed by Parliamentary Forum for Climate Change. Climate change. Followed by the UPDF caucus. Followed by a representative of the East African Legislative Assembly. Followed by members of the Pan-African Parliament. PAP. Pan-African, followed by the Parliamentary Savings Scheme. SACCO. Followed by Busoga Parliamentary Caucus. Followed by Bugisu Parliamentary Group. Followed by Bunyoro Parliamentary Caucus. Followed by the Dean of the Independents in Parliament. Then also followed by Independents in Parliament. Also followed by the Independents in Parliament. Followed by a representative to Honorable Chris Opoka Yala MP. And last but not least, a representative of the NRM Yala flag bearers. Item 5 on the order paper, motion for a resolution of Parliament to pay tribute to the late Honorable Lonjeu Ann, woman representative from Moroto District.
Now, members, before the Prime Minister comes in, I want to announce a condolence message from the TESO Parliamentary Group. They're also contributing 2.5 million shillings. I also want to present a message from Honorable Chris Opoka. We also have a message from the Buganda Parliamentary Caucus. They are contributing 500,000 shillings. We have a message from the Parliamentarian Circle, where Anne was a member. They are contributing 1 million shillings. The Busoga Parliamentary Group is contributing 2 million shillings. In the public gallery, join me in welcoming the Honorable Matthias Kasamba, candidate, Honorable Rosa Cole, candidate, Honorable Mary Mujenyi, candidate, Honorable Samari Paul, candidate, Honorable Dennis Namara, candidate, Honorable George Odong, candidate. I also want you to welcome Honorable Susan Nakauki, candidate, where is she seated? Honorable Mariam Narvega, candidate, Honorable Ibi Ekwau, candidate, and let's welcome Honorable Manya Mushega, former Minister of Education. Welcome. Honorable Anthony Butele, the 10-point program. You're welcome. Honorable John Emily Otekat, former Member of Parliament. Honorable Rose Akuru Lili. Welcome. Honorable Benson Obua, former MP candidate. Honorable Mukasambide, candidate. I've named you already. Now, honour members, sometimes we take certain things for granted, but I think on behalf of the House and the country, I want to thank the clerk and her team because our colleague died outside the country. Of course, we were lucky that we have our ambassador in Denmark, who helped with the coordination. Otherwise, it would have been very, very hard to coordinate it, but we want to thank her for all the arrangements, bringing Anne back, but supporting simultaneously the home in Entebbe, the home in Moroto. It's really a long process, so I really want to thank her and the Parliamentary Commission for that. So let me now invite Right Honourable the Prime Minister to move. Oh, there is a message from Kangole. I've read this one of Kangole Girls. So let's invite the Prime Minister to move the motion.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, I beg to move a motion for a resolution of Parliament to pay tribute to the late Honourable Annie Logiro for her dedicated service to the nation. And I'm moving this motion under Rule 47 of the Rules of Procedure of this August House. Right Honourable Speaker, whereas Parliament learned with sadness of the death of Honourable Annie Logiro, the woman Member of Parliament for Moroto District, which occurred on 14th of February 2017 at the Roche Pectelet Hospital in Copenhagen, Denmark. And whereas the late Honourable Anne Logiro was born on 27th of March 1968 at Nakapiri Men village, Nadungate sub-county, Moroto district, to Peter Epuyo and Margaret Muñez, and held a master's degree in international health from the University of Copenhagen, Denmark, a Bachelor of Nursing Sciences from the International Health Sciences University in Kampala, and a diploma in nursing and midwifery at Samja School of Nursing, and an enrolled nursing certificate from St. Kizito Hospital Matany, and a diploma in public administration from Uganda Christian University, as well as a Uganda Certificate of Education from Kangole Girls Secondary School in Moroto. And further, whereas the late Anne Logiro will be remembered for founding the Karamoja Indigenous and Modern Health Collaboration Project, which has been playing an important role, especially in the improvement of mother and child health in the Karamoja sub-region. Recognizing that the late Annie Logiro served as a senior nursing officer in Moroto Regional Referral Hospital from 2002 to 2015, and prior to that, as a nursing officer at Nadungate Health Center 3 and at Kororo Hospital in Kampala. Appreciating that at the time of her demise, the late Logiro was an elected member of the 10th Parliament of Uganda, where she served as Vice Chairperson of the Committee of Health, Vice Chairperson of the Karamoja Parliamentary Group, and as a member of the Committee on HIV/AIDS. Now, therefore, be it resolved by this Parliament as follows. 1, that Parliament collectively conveys its deep condolences to the family, relatives, friends, and the people of Uganda upon the loss of Honourable Anne Logiro, this distinguished daughter of Uganda. 2, that this Parliament takes cognizance of the dedicated services rendered and contribution made by the late Anne Logir to her community, to the 10th Parliament, and to the people of Uganda. And 3, that this Parliament collectively prays to the Almighty God to sustain the bereaved and grant our departed colleague and friend, Honorable Logir, eternal peace. Right Honorable Speaker, I beg to move.
Seconded? Seconded by several members in the House. You can make your justification.
Right Honorable Speaker and colleagues, we are here again on another sad occasion to pay tribute to our colleague, Honorable Anne Logir, who passed away in Denmark on 14th of February, 2017. In Honorable Logir, we have lost a strong legislator whom the country still had a lot to benefit from. This having been her first term in this very august House. We have lost a well-trained and committed health worker who had a deep passion of improving health services in the country and especially in the Karamoja region. Right Honorable Speaker and honorable colleagues, right from her early years of service, Honorable Logir dedicated her life to serving the nation as a health worker. Her service at Koro Hospital as a nursing officer and Moroto District Hospital and later Rufaro Hospital as a senior nursing officer are spoken about with gratitude by both her workmates and the people that she nursed. In an effort to advance health care in her region, Honorable Logir founded the Karamoja Indigenous and Modern Healthcare Collaboration Project, an initiative that champions improved maternal and health care. Right Honorable Speaker, born to Peter Epuyo and Margaret Muyez in Nakpilenen Village, Nandugate Sub-County, Moroto District on 27th of March 68, Honorable Logir started school in 1976 at Lotome Girls Primary School and proceeded to Kangole Girls Secondary School for her Uganda Certificate of Education, which she completed in 1986. She later enrolled for a nursing course at St. Kizito Hospital, Matany, in 1987. She later went to Nsambya Nursing School for a diploma in nursing and midwifery in 2001, and also obtained a diploma in public administration from Uganda Christian University in 2010. Right Honorable Speaker, Honorable Logir endeavored to set a good example to the children and young people in Moroto and Karamoja by advancing further her pursuit of academic excellence through obtaining a degree in nursing sciences from the International Health Sciences University and a Master's of International Health from the University of Copenhagen, Denmark. These academic achievements clearly demonstrated her determination to advance her career, to provide the urgently needed health services that the people of Uganda need. Honorable Logir's credentials were a solid foundation for her role as Vice Chairperson of the Health Committee and member of the HIV/AIDS Committee in this Parliament. Right Honourable Speaker, Honourable Jill has been supporting a number of children from her community to attain education through a bursary scheme she personally established. She has clearly been a leading light in Moroto, in Karamoja, and in the country. Her services and contribution will be greatly missed. Right Honourable Speaker, what was the cause of death? The information we have indicates that in 2004, while studying in Denmark, Honourable Jill experienced a vision loss, and an MRI was conducted and it showed the presence of a brain tumor. She thereafter underwent surgery and the tumor was successfully removed. She had no complications in relation to that until October 2016, when she started complaining of severe headache and loss of her vision again. On 2nd of November 2016, she visited Uganda Cancer Institute and went another MRI, which revealed a relapse of the brain tumor. On 18th of January 2017, she left for Denmark and underwent surgery. However, after 10 days, she felt headache, collapsed, and was taken back to hospital, from where she died on 14th of February this month anyway. Right Honourable Speaker and colleagues, we would like to extend our gratitude to the family for nurturing such an outstanding and industrious daughter. We share in the grief of this loss with the widower, Mr. Eric Joe, the family, friends, colleagues, and the nation at large. And may her soul rest in eternal peace.
Thank you very much, Prime Minister. Honourable members, I want you to join me in welcoming her immediate family. Her husband, Mr. Eric Jose, is here. Her daughter, Diana Lamongin, she's here. She's 18 years old. Her son, Jordan Jagal, is 12 years old. He's also here. So we want to thank them for supporting her. Honourable Leader of Opposition.
Right Honourable Speaker and honourable colleagues, we gather here once again on a sad day, and on behalf of the opposition, both in and outside Parliament, together with the people of Kasese whom I represent in this House, I rise to second a motion moved by the Prime Minister for a resolution of Parliament to pay tribute to Honourable Ogi Anne, a woman of special tribute, a dedicated health worker, and a personality many members of Parliament would have wished to associate with longer. Colleagues, it is so sad that Anne has lived her life like a candle in the wind. I met Anne 2 weeks before Parliament opened up. I had been invited by Hajat Rema Kasule at a mentorship session in Ryder Hotel. I had gone there to mentor new members of Parliament. And in that mentorship session, Right Honourable Speaker and colleagues, I was requested to be the Speaker of a mock Parliament. When the session ended, Anne came to me and said, "You have been a very wonderful speaker. as we go to Parliament, would you have intentions of contesting for the office of the Speaker? I told Anne, no, I have a candidate. And she wanted to know who my candidate was. Said, you know, you were a nice speaker. You would make a very nice speaker. I said, no, I have a candidate. Later, I will tell you who my candidate is. Of course, when she was sworn in, Anne came to me and asked me to vote for Right Honorable Kadag. I said yes, that was the candidate I was talking about. Surprisingly, she was also asking for the vote of Mohammed Nsereko. And I said, Anne, you are voting the same people I'm voting for. Actually, I'm going to be the one to second the nomination of the Honorable Mohammed Nsereko. So we are together. And I saw a courageous woman in Anne. She was quiet, but steady in whatever she was doing. She was polite in dealing with each one of us. Anne has just gone too soon. There is a lot that the people of Moroto expected from Anne. Anne had a motherly heart. To each one of us, she had a sweet word to keep you moving. You can't believe it, Right Honorable Speaker and Honorable colleagues, that Anne had 106 children under her scholarship program, and all these were under her shoulders. One of the children commented that I don't know my next move. She was my only hope. She fainted when she heard of the death. This is the woman we are saying bye to. It is unfortunate. Death has robbed us of a mother, has robbed us of a friend, has robbed us of a people's representative whom everybody really would have wished to stay with longer. And something I noted about Anne, she was ready to learn. Would always come and say, in case I moved this way, what would happen? She was not so much bothered about sides of politics. All she wanted was development for her people. Under her project, which the Prime Minister talked about, she was determined to see mothers giving birth to healthy babies and they remain alive. She lobbied for mother kids to mothers under her slogan of help them today to live a happier tomorrow. This is the woman we are seeing just going like that. Madam Speaker, in her own way she thought education should also be extended to the rural poor. And even when we know that it's hard for government to take care of the people, even when there is what they have called the universal secondary education, it is not really very universal because there are some poor people whose children are very bright, but they cannot even afford the small money that is being asked in government schools. Anne took it upon herself to ensure that the poorest of the poor, who are bright, can still access education. I would pray that people of good hearts, well-wishers around the world, should take up her initiative of seeing the poor people from Karamoja sub-region access quality education so that we help them today to have a better tomorrow, which Anne has been struggling for. She believed in changing the environment where she is so that she lives it better than she found it. I found that very extraordinary about Anne. I haven't been with her for a long time, but in that shortest time, that is what I saw in her. She was a star to many. Being a health worker she was, and believed in quality health for all Ugandans. I would pray that as we pay tribute to Anne, we reconsider our health systems. It is true we have so many health centers around, but majority of them are ill-equipped. Let this moment bring us to the reality that better health care is critical for a health nation. And that as we put up health centers, we should ensure that the ones that we have are already fully equipped, the workers are well paid, where Anne belonged. She called for better service to the health workers, and better service for the nation is a pay rise, better working conditions, that they can be able to give a better service to the Ugandans. And you played your part. Even in the shortest time we have been with you here in Parliament, you proved to many that even in the shortest time, much can be accomplished. Though we expected more from you, because as we continue to discuss the budget, we thought that we would tap into her expertise as a health worker, maybe to advocate for increment in the health subsector. You are all aware that when the budget framework paper was being discussed here, we are realizing that cuts were made in the health subsector. And this is the sector where she had all her passion. It's unfortunate that we are going to discuss this budget when she's not alive. It's a call to you who are here, who think are friends of Anne. Let's talk about improvement of the health subsector of this country so that many of our people stop dying at the hands of ill-facilitated health workers, dying in hospitals that are ill-equipped. Then we can know, yes, Anne, you've left a legacy. We want to thank the Parliament of Uganda, and specifically you, Right Honorable Speaker, for enabling us to assemble here and say bye to our friend. We want to say to the family that you are not alone. The Lord of us all is with you. And the friends of Anne will always be there with you. Diane and Jordan, you have your mother's friends. They will always be there. Because Anne had many friends. It's sometimes hard that when we have friends and we pass on, they forget our families. They forget our children. I would call upon you, colleagues. Anne has left a young family. It needs the support of friends. I want to thank all of you for coming today. It's a weekend. And when I look at the numbers in the House, Right Honorable Speaker, it speaks volumes. Many people are supposed to be in their constituencies, but you didn't go, and you said, let's go and see our friends off. Sometimes when we are saying bye to our colleagues, I keep asking myself, what will happen on that day that people are speaking about me? What will they speak? I sometimes imagine myself in that coffin somewhere, and it will happen. It may not be today, but it is going to happen. Many times when we are dealing with humanity, we should begin making those imaginations. What will they stand up to say? Will they say, good riddance, she's gone? Or they will rise here to say she was a hard-working woman, she was really one of our own. Or they will say, hey, you know, there are some people who die and you begin patching up words to find what to speak about them. Some of us were even forced to lie that the person was good. You know, we are going to miss the person. When actually, you know, deep down in your heart, that what you have talked is a lie. But with Anne, I can say she was a woman of high moral standard that anybody would have really wished to stay with her longer. Anne, God gave you to us, and it's the same God who has taken you. I know one day we shall meet you. May your soul rest in eternal peace.
Thank you very much, Leader of Opposition. As I invite Honorable Anita, I want to recognize Honorable Norbert Mao, President General of the Democratic Party. Honorable Siranda Black, Secretary General of the DP. Siranda is there. Mr. Kennedy Oluma, Secretary General of the Uganda Federal Alliance. There he is. And I think I see Honorable Paul Cole. Yes, I see Honorable Paul Cole. Welcome. Let me now invite Honorable Among to complete the motion.
Right. Right, Honorable Speaker. Allow me to add my voice in seconding the motion of resolution of Parliament to pay a tribute to Honorable Anne Loge for her dedicated services to the nation. Today, Right Honorable Speaker, we are here to mourn and to remember the life of Anne. I bring condolence from myself, Anita Mong, and the people of Bukedea, and we bring condolence to Karamoja Parliamentary Group, to the people of Karamoja, and to the whole nation. This is a national loss. Anne, who has been in Parliament less than 1 year, has left us. And we are here today to mourn Anne and to remember the good works she has done for her people in Karamoja and for the people of this nation, as you've already heard from the mover of the motion. I came to know Anne when we had just joined this Parliament. I can proudly say I have been one of the best friends to Anne. And we have been working as a team as new members of Parliament. Anne, for the time we've known Anne since she joined Parliament, was full of humility. And she was blessed with the charisma that she would not want to hurt anybody. She was such a lady that would not want even to hurt a fly. We must thank God for that kind of person. Anne, who is lying here, was one very reliable legislator, very consistent. If Anne told you in the morning, I'll do this, afternoon she'll tell you the same thing. And before dawn, she'll tell you the same thing. Very, very consistent. Most of you will bear me witness to this. She was a team player, as you've already heard. She was that kind of person who believed in working with her colleagues. People who have worked with Anne will tell you in the various committees that Anne was a team player. And as legislators, we should learn something from the lady lying here. We work as teams. As a trained personnel, Anne was a very neat person. Very neat in a way that you would see her very organized. Even the books, anything that she would be doing, it would be so neat that you feel, I wish I could be like her. At one time I told her, Anne, what makes you organized like that? She said, it is by training. That's why I am this neat. You reach to her office, she's a very neat person. And that even explains the day she left Parliament that she was going for treatment. She had to organize her office and say, I am going. I don't know whether I will come back. If I come back, we shall thank God for it. Those were her own words. Anne, the lady who is lying before us here, was a great lady, very wonderful. And because of that being a great lady, wonderful, that could have been a reason why the chief whip and the NRM government gave her to be a vice chair of health. She was really great. To the children of Anne and the family, we the legislators who are here, today it is Anne, tomorrow it is somebody else. I would plead with the legislators here tonight that we get united and bring up those young children. Anne has left a small family, young children. We need to give them the moral support and any other support that will bring up those children. Those are children that belong to us. The same way we've come here today in this big number is the same way we should still work together and bring up those children. We really thank, Right Honorable Speaker, we must thank Parliament of Uganda for what they've really done from the day Anne died up to now. There's nothing we can do as friends to Anne, as members of Parliament, but we just say thank you. Anne was born a child of light. Wonderful secrets. You return back to the beauty that you've always been. I will always have you in my mind and remember your genuine smile. And you fought a good fight. May your soul rest in eternal peace.
Thank you very much, Honorable Anita. There's a message from the Board of Trustees of the Parliamentary Pension Scheme where Anne was a member. They give their condolences and request the family at an appropriate time to contact them. But I think I will instruct the clerk to write to the family and detail whatever benefits are available so they don't have to run around checking. You write to them and inform them about her savings and also what's in the pension scheme. Now, honour members, the movers have moved the motion. The rest of you will have 3 minutes. So I want to invite the chair of the HIV/AIDS committee, where she served, to be followed by the representative of the chair of health committee, then the minister of Karamoja, and then I'll pick you others. Let's start with those three. Then I'll come to our people here. Honourable Baliek, 3 minutes.
Thank you very much, the Right Honorable Speaker, my colleagues, members of Parliament. We are here gathered today for the thing that God has done amidst us. We are so saddened with the disappearance of our colleague, the late Honorable Anne Logiel, who has been a member of Parliament for Moroto District. Anne had been a member of my committee, that is HIV/AIDS committee, where I'm the chairperson. For the short time that I interacted with Anne as a committee member, she has been a dedicated member. She has been very close to us on issues that affect this country as far as HIV/AIDS is concerned. We are missing her. We are also going to miss the braveness in her. And had been deliberating with us very well and never missed any meeting for HIV/AIDS committee that we had organized. So for that matter, honorable members, I would like to say that we have missed a great person. We have missed a friend. We have missed a mother. We have missed a very useful legislator. We pray for her family. We pray for the children, the husband, the friends that had been touched equally like we are touched today. When we heard about the death of Anne, I personally could not believe Anne had a problem. I didn't know Anne had brain tumor. It took me by surprise when I saw members of parliament in our various platforms, the platform of HIV/AIDS, and then the platform of the Committee of Health, WhatsApp platform. When we heard she was sick and she was in a critical condition, I couldn't believe what I saw or what I read. Anne is ever patient. She's tolerant. She could not go about sharing with everybody what she was going through.
Honorable Chinovere, for the Health Committee. Thank you. Then the Minister for Karamoja.
Right, Honorable Speaker, honorable colleagues. For records, I'm Chinovere Herbert, Member of Parliament Chibuku, and I'm standing in for Chairperson Health, the same committee where we have been sitting with the late Honorable Longwell. Right, Honorable Speaker, on behalf of Health Committee and on my own behalf, allow me to convey this message to my colleagues that it was hard for us as the Health Committee to believe on 14th when we learned about the death of our dear Honorable Anne. It is so sad that she has left us. Right, Honorable Speaker, Honorable Anne gave us a very strong hope that all will be well as she gets treatment abroad. And she was looking forward to returning home and carry on her duties as a member of parliament and even to her constituency. Right, Honorable Speaker, Honorable Anne asked each of us to pray for her. We moved with her in the bus. She asked us to pray. And as the Health Committee, we all prayed for her. And we had hope that she should return back. Without forgetting that maybe we were bidding a farewell. Right, Honorable Speaker, we shall miss Anne, but we are sure of that at one time we shall meet. In Psalms 26, verse 1 to 2 says, "Judge me, O Lord, for I have walked in my integrity, and I have trusted also in Lord, therefore I shall not slide. Examine me, O Lord, and prove me. Try my reins and my heart." So, Anne, we shall miss you. May you also rest in peace, in eternal peace. And as a Health Committee, we have contributed 2,168,000 to support on the burial expenses. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. May you also rest in eternal peace.
Honorable Minister of Karamoja, to be followed by Honorable Minister of State for Local Government, and then Honorable Lukia Nyakun.
Right, Honorable Madam Speaker, on behalf of Karamoja Affairs, and on my own behalf, and on behalf of the people of Uganda South, whom I represent in this House, I stand to support the motion to pay tribute to Honorable Rogi Anne, Member of Parliament for Moroto District. Madam Speaker, Honorable Rogi had a very unique character and braveness. I interacted with her recently at the Nadunget Health Center 3. And that's when she told me all that she had gone through to reach where she had reached. Unique character in the sense that many people from Karamoja region, which is obvious, lagging behind other regions, when they obtain education, they tend not to go back to serve their people. Immediately after her studies at Nsambia, Honorable Rogi decided to go back and serve her people at Matanyi Hospital in Napak. And that's the time when Karamoja was on fire. It was a no-go area, but because of the braveness, she decided to go and serve her people. I think Honorable Rogi loved her people, She continued to Moroto Hospital and served her people. And even when I met her at Nadunget, we were actually immunizing the children, and she was participating in immunizing the children. This is the character what the people of Karamoja have lost. To lose such a person from an area like Karamoja, it's a heavy blow to the people of Karamoja, a heavy blow. Somebody with a character to work for his people, that braveness, that kindness to pay school fees for others, it is really unique among all of us. Therefore, Madam Speaker, as we pay tribute to her, I want to extend our prayers to the family, to the people of Karamoja, and I usually quote this whenever I'm concluding my eulogy, that they may find comfort in the words of Job, chapter 1, verse 21. The Lord gave, and the Lord has taken away. May the name of the Lord be praised. May her soul rest in eternal peace.
Thank you, Honourable Minister. Honourable Namuyangu. Then after that, we shall have Honourable Loki, Nyakun, and then we'll get other members
Thank
here.
you, Right Honourable Speaker. My honourable colleagues, Right Honourable, I stand to support the motion to pay tribute to the fallen hero, Honourable Anne. Madam Speaker, we have lost a humble person, an icon in the health sector. As a Minister of Local Government, we are grappling with the challenge of staffing levels in some of the local governments. Districts like Amudat, we have only 23% staffing level in the health sector. And a colleague like Anne, even after going through the ranks, from the level of enrolled nurse to somebody holding a master's in the health sector, to choose to remain in Karamoja, we have lost a selfless person, very patriotic, a person who had passion to serve the people of Uganda. I would normally meet Anne in the corridors of this parliament, and she would tell me, Minister, when are you giving us our sub-counties? When are you making Moroto a city? And I would joke with her, saying, I want to start with your village to make it a city. And she would laugh. Madam Speaker, we have lost a colleague, and it's very, very unfortunate. We all know that having gone through elections, it was not easy. But hardly 7 months, Anne is no more. It's very painful. But as I have been mourning, I realized that God's plans are not our plans. May Honorable Anne rest in eternal peace.
Thank you. Honourable members, the Standing Committee on HIV and AIDS is contributing 1.3 million shillings towards to the family. Let me invite Honourable Loki, then Anyakun, and then Honourable Ngom, Alatigo. Okay, let me write. Let me write.
Thank you. Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I would like to support the motion that this Parliament pays tribute to our fallen colleague, Honorable Annie Logiel. I would like to thank the movers and the seconders of the motion that we pay glowing tribute to the daughter of this country. Madam Speaker, on behalf of the people of Matheniko County, on behalf of the people of Moroto District, I would like to sincerely send our condolences to the bereaved family, the relatives, friends, and in-laws for the demise of our sister. This death to our sister has occurred at the time when this country needed the services of Honorable Annie Logiel most. Right Honorable Speaker and honorable colleagues, for the time I have known Honorable Annie Logiel, even before she joined Parliament, I have known her as somebody who is a hard-working person. And this she has always demonstrated in her work. She has demonstrated in whatever she said. And so it is so sad to lose such a person when she has just served this nation for less than a year. It is sad to lose her at the time when she was just settling to serve this country better. Honorable Annie Logiel has departed, but I would like to highlight the achievements that remain behind. The achievements, the services that she has left to the people of Moroto in the health subsector. Honorable Annie Logiel was somebody who was innovative. And her innovation was seen when she formed a local NGO that is trying to bring the interface between the traditional medicine and the modern medicine, particularly to address the plight of the children and the mothers of Uganda.
One minute more.
She formed a local NGO that is serving the people of Moroto District. We have lost her, and it is so sad. Right Honorable Speaker, we have also lost a hard-working person, a generous person, in the name of Honorable Logiel. A person who would always want to share the little she earns with the community, with the people who are in need. This is part of her passion to give back to the community. This she demonstrated by extending the bursaries to over 100 students in Matheniko County, in Moroto District. How many of us colleagues can do that? We do it, but again, Honorable Annie Logiel has done it more. So we shall sincerely miss Annie Logiel, and we would like to thank the government of Uganda. We would like to thank government for the support that they extended to Honorable Annie Logiel, to the family, meeting the burial expenses, the medical bills, the repatriation bills. So we are humbled by this support. We thank the members of Parliament who have always given the prayers, who have given the moral support, who have given the financial support to Honorable Annie Logiel when she was still being hospitalized in Copenhagen, and also extending the support to the family. I would like to say.
Honorable then Honorable Ngom, Latigo.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, members of Parliament. I stand here also to support the motion that has been moved by other members of parliament and the Prime Minister. Honorable members of parliament, these are moments when even a great orator has no fully prepared speech. I least expected to lose a sister in this 10th parliament. Yesterday when I was talking with someone about the issue of budgeting, in case how many members of parliament would die in this term, it would never come into my memory that my sister would be lying right in front of here, this house, as the first in this 10th parliament to go back to the Lord. Honorable Annie Logel happens to be my maternal cousin. Her father is named the same, her father's name is the same as that of my mom. They are named after one person. But when we came to parliament, we became more closer than we were before when we were not together. We used to move together with Annie in the same car from Entebbe, coming to parliament every day. But we talk on a daily basis how we are going to come back to parliament for more than 3 terms. But we didn't know, because the people of Karamoja can't give you only 1 term. I bear this a witness, at least most of them have come more than 2, others have come for 4 or 5 terms. She had tested it. But the Lord said it was her time to join the Lord. She was a friend, she was courageous, selfless. We definitely heard about how many people she has been sponsoring. Honorable Logel, honorable members, has left a very big gap. It's irrecoverable. Nobody can recover it. Nobody can take that position in their family. She was the breadwinner. She was the most educated girl in their family. She had the zeal to help the family. When she passed away a week ago, I didn't believe it. It was not other than yesterday in the afternoon when I saw her being lowered from the plane, that I saw her in the casket, and I'm like, it's true. But the members, we never slept the whole of last night, including the children, especially the young boy. He stayed awake. All of us stayed awake up to morning, because he kept asking us, do you think she's going to wake up? Don't sleep, maybe she's about to wake up. This is what we went through throughout the night. We have never slept actually as a family, because it was yesterday that we believed it's true. She's no longer with us. She struggled against poor health. She wished for all.
Okay, 1 minute.
She wished for all good health, but unfortunately, she has lost hers. Death is quite unwanted, but superior. It's God we always run to when it occurs. I extend my gratitude to the government of Uganda, Parliament, staff of Parliament, members of Parliament who were with us yesterday at the tarmac, members of Parliament of Karamoja. Every day from the time Logel passed away, we had a meeting trying to see how can we have our sister buried decently. But we had no idea. The support that the Parliament has given us as Karamoja is beyond our expectation. We just don't know how to say thank you. I attest this because when her husband is here, he told me yesterday he can't believe what the government of Uganda has offered Anne. Thank you very much.
Okay, honourable members, as Honourable Ongom comes, just for your planning, honourable members, the body will leave tomorrow at 8 o'clock. It will be airlifted to Moroto. There's going to be a council session in the municipal chambers of Moroto tomorrow morning. There will be a mass at Naowi Catholic Mission. Then there will be a vigil at Nadonget village. And then the body will be on Sunday at 2 p.m. So Parliament has set aside some transport. One bus will leave today, 6 will leave tomorrow. So those who are going to Moroto should assemble here at 8 o'clock in the morning. There will be 6 buses here to take you to Moroto. Honorable Ongom, I want to announce a contribution of 1 million from Honorable Anita Among. Honorable Joy.
Thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker. I stand to support the motion moved by the Right Honorable Prime Minister to pay tribute to Honorable Anne Logel. Right Honorable Speaker, Honorable Anne Logel was a Vice Chairperson for Health, where I am a member. Madam Speaker, Right Honorable Anne was sincerely a unique person. She was humble, someone who was so passionate about health issues. Right Honorable Speaker, I remember when we moved with Anne to the health centers to do the monitoring. Even if members wanted to go to the next room, Anne would still remain to ask questions, to understand what the situation was. Anne was somebody who was so joyous. We moved with her to the Eastern. I remember Honorable Mbua was with us, and somebody gave Mbua a name, Mbua Taloma, for the whole trip, and said that is the only Luganda vocabulary she learned, Mbua Taloma. She made us laugh throughout that trip. And amidst pain, she could smile. She asked us as a committee, members, pray for me. I'm not a citizen in Denmark, but I have to go for surgery. We said, God will pave a way for you. And as a committee, we didn't really experience, we didn't know she had such a great pain in her. We asked her what it was, and she said she had tumor. Madam Speaker, it was sad for us to realize on WhatsApp that Anne passed on. I'm sorry. Rumor moving around the corridor is that the medical board somehow tried to delay her. I just want to appeal that, Madam Speaker, we deserve this. Once a member is in problems, can we see a way of supporting such a member as fast as possible? Death is there. Today is Anne. Tomorrow is some other person. There is that song that says, this world is not our home. We are just passers by. Anne has passed. May her soul rest in eternal peace.
Honorable Latigo, then Jackie Famolini.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, as Chair of Acholi Parliamentary Group and members of Acholi Parliamentary Group, we formally wrote our condolence message. But allow me, Right Honorable Speaker, to take a brief moment that came to my mind when we were having the Requiem Mass of Anne in the church to share with members. Because in life, death of significant people are signs that people must reflect on. For members who would not know, Anne, having come from Karamoja, she is actually the second Karamojan to be the first to die in a parliament. In the 8th parliament, the first MP to die was Honorable Rex Achila, Max Ak Lodo. He passed away just when we were settling in Parliament. I apologize. Now, before the end of the first Parliament, another Karamojong becomes the first member of Parliament to die. We pray that this bad coincidence ends for Karamoja with Honorable Anne Logel. Secondly, Madam Speaker, nobody expected the kind of rain that fell this morning. It literally disrupted very many people from attending Mass on time. And this heavy rain falls when we are celebrating the life of someone whose community is under severe distress because of drought. We truly have to reflect on that. And Anne's going to the Lord. We pray that she asks the Lord to bless Karamoja abundantly with rain. Thirdly, not long ago we eulogized a distinguished medical personnel, a lady, Dr. Margaret. And today we are again eulogizing the death of a distinguished medical person. It says something about our health services. The Right Honorable Leader of Opposition has already said something about that. We as a country must think about it. And finally, last night I was listening to BBC, and there was a program where very distinguished academic professor from Yale and others were discussing about smile. Smile as a scientific phenomenon.
Honorable Jackie Amongin, or Honorable Gong, Nandara, Adoa. Let's start with those. Now, as Honorable Jackie comes, Honorable Ngom raised something about delay in getting a clearance. We have been complaining about this matter as Parliament. I know that when the Honorable Member informed me and informed the clerk, we wrote, we are not allowed to send money to a hospital abroad without the medical board. That's the problem we have, Honorable Prime Minister. I don't know whether the request by the MPs can be fast-tracked. I don't know, but also the Ugandans need to be, theirs also to be fast-tracked. I don't know what we can do. There's a bureaucracy. Sometimes they don't even meet. So if they don't meet, no one takes action. I don't know how you can help us. Honorable Amongin.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I would like to add, on behalf of the people of Ngora and on my own behalf, to add a voice to the colleagues who have already spoke about Honorable Annie, plus all the other members of Parliament from Karamoja, especially the lady members of Parliament, are so dear because actually they are our auntie, and most of the time, all of them, we have a special name for them. That is Auntie Ija. And Honorable Annie, when you call her Ija, she just smiles, and the best she could always do is to hug. And I remember that great lady, although she's been briefly in this house, I think that she had a vision and she had a passion for health. Because even when we would raise issues of health in this house, she would say, niece in Ate, so it means achenyo. Ikeun in Ate, so ikeun wa angaleu. Raise a voice on health. So today, as we lay her and we celebrate her life, I think it's very imperative for us as members who are privileged to speak for the vulnerable in this house to take this opportunity when we are still alive to raise our concerns, and we see how we can change especially issues that we are passionate about, especially areas of health. Right Honorable Speaker, I think in Uganda we still have very, very many issues related to the health. Despite all the relevant laws that are in place, despite all the relevant declarations, including the Abuja Declaration that gives prioritization to health, we have tried. But I think we need to try further as members of this parliament. Because when we lose our own who are here, I imagine that a person who reaches this level of parliament is a privileged person. And when you're here, I imagine that you represent the other person who is not heard in any way. My sister, my auntie died in Denmark. I don't think that the other children in Agu, a village that I hail from, can even have an opportunity to be taken abroad. Today we are talking about cancer. We don't have a machine in Mulago Hospital. There are so many patients out there who need this service. We are talking about brain tumors. I'm dreaming at a situation whereby at one time we remember Honorable Annie when we address basic cancer, basic health issues. One, majority of Ugandans need to be addressed in regards to cancer. Majority of Ugandans want just a machine to even sometimes even checking oxygen in our health center for us. It is very hard. Honorable colleagues, as we lay our sister to rest, we are celebrating her life because she has within the 9 months that she's been in this house, shown where her passion is. And therefore, as the members who are still here, and we still have the voice to speak and to fulfill her dream, let us rise to the occasion and make Annie happy while she is wherever she is by raising concerns. And if we can't try, let us try harder, because I know that there is always a way where there seems to be no way.
Honorable Gong, then Nandara, then Helena Doa.
Madam Speaker,
Then we go to Abim.
and my dear members of parliament,
Jalia, the back.
I stand here on behalf of members of parliament from Lango and the entire Lango sub-region and the country to sincerely express our sympathy and condolences to the people of Karamoja, the people of Uganda, and the Parliament of Uganda upon the loss of my cousin, our cousin, Anne Logel. Honorable members, all the people from Karamoja are our cousins. The word Karamoja or Karamojong is old people who remain behind. They remain behind, but our forefathers step ahead of them. So they are cousins. We belong to a Teker clan. So we are together, a Teker. Madam Speaker, as we mourn our sister and pay tribute to her, there are three things that I want members of parliament to ponder upon. One, I know the people of Karamojo and the people of Lango are very enduring. They live for long. They survive for long. But when you see a member of parliament, people from Karamoja suffering from cancer, that is a point that we need to consider. Honorable members, from the record that we have, Uganda is one of the countries that have very high incidence of cancer. Actually, we are third in the whole world. We must consider. We are third in the whole world. And I think, Madam Speaker, there are many issues that we need to consider as members of parliament. The standard of the goods that we eat. As you are aware, all the supermarkets are now with so many products that are not inspected. Many of our industries are producing products that are not controlled, and we are consuming. Honorable members, this is very serious. We have Uganda National Bureau of Standards with no resources. They have no capacity to control, monitor what we eat. So, honorable members, I believe today is a day that we must stand firm and make clear contribution to the agency that we have mandated to monitor, control what we eat. So, Madam Speaker, I want to appeal to members of parliament that in this coming budget, we need to consider giving money, not just this small money that we always allocate. And we give money to where we should not give. And His Excellency always said the word in the Bible, that we do what we should not. Madam Speaker.
Honourable members, on the issue of the Bureau of Standards, the Minister of Trade has been here for like 3 financial years, complaining that she does not have inspectors at all the border points. I think if we are going to help the country, we need to support that ministry to get sufficient capacity. Most of the border points are not monitored. People just roll in, you know.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I met my colleague Anne when I was the leader of the opposition. I was visiting Moroto Hospital. I saw a good lady, loving, wanting to work, but the place she was working was really a hard place. Madam Speaker, when we vote a member of parliament, he ceases to be a member of parliament of that area. He belongs to Uganda. And when he's here, he must do work as an MP of Uganda. We have lost as Uganda, and we as a part of FDC, where I lead as Secretary General, we have lost a Ugandan. And also in Bugisu, we have lost our neighbor. For you who are not aware, I go much in Karamoja. I have a lot of interest in Karamoja. And when into Karamajongs are going to their place, their route is through Sronko, where I stay. Madam Speaker, I think it's time we must demonstrate what we say. I have been in this parliament for some time. Whenever a colleague dies, we talk about health, health, health. I want us to go and extract our reports and see if what we have spoken has been implemented. Madam Speaker, today, I want to tell all the MPs who are here and those out and the people, it's high time we demonstrated at all health units about health. Rwanda is a small country. You are sure of health, you are sure of education. Why should Anne be struggling to look after 100 and some number of children? Where's the government? We're all saying the children are going to suffer. Those children are not Anna's children. Those are children for people, for the Republic of Uganda, not Anna's children. And it's high time we think about it. Madam Speaker, when members fall sick, they are the first to be thrown out. Me, Madam Speaker, when I fall sick, you take me to Mbala Hospital. Why should we run to take the members of parliament and the government officials out for treatment, while the masters, the people of Uganda, are dying in those poor health units without medicine? Madam Speaker, if we are talking of health, let it be for the entire people of Uganda. Recently, Dr. Muyege died from India. Many people are being flown to South Africa. What is there in India that we cannot do here? What is there in South Africa that we cannot do here? In South Africa, the doctors in South Africa, some of them, I was with them in Makerere and in Mwiri. Wherever we go there, they are down treating us. Why did they go in the first place? We must rethink. We must rethink. Colleagues, either we get all the budget and we invest in health and education, we should do it. We can walk without roads, but let us invest in health. You cannot go to school when you are sick. You cannot dig when you are sick. You must first treat yourself before you can do anything. Madam Speaker, Anna's gone. We are saying we have lost our dear one, but there are many who have.
Honorable Doa, then Honorable Korimoi, Engola.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I also want to add my voice to the rest. On behalf of the people of Serere and Iteso, I bring condolence to the house, the family, and the people of Karamoja. And as others have said, they are our aunties and uncles. I happen to be in the Health Committee as a member, and we moved with the Honorable Anne. One thing about her was, when all of you are tired, I remember one day in Mulago Hospital, how big Mulago is. We moved and we were tired. Anne was not tired. And she had her notebook. She would never leave a health center or hospital without her noting how many children were born in this hospital this week, a whole month, a whole year. And she would always want to meet midwives. And she kept on talking, even on the way she could always talk. I wish they could increase the allowance, lunch allowance for the health workers. Because from 1996 up to now, the lunch allowance for the medical workers have not been increased. And she was a very calm person, but very principled. When she starts from a word that she wants to start, she will want to complete. And I happened to sit with her one-on-one in Kapchoro. And I asked her, Honorable Anne, tell me, who are you? Why did people elect you? And were you known before? And she started telling me about her project, her organization, showed me the photographs of her children and husband. And I think that was a very good time I had with her. Now, when I look at the loss of Honorable Anne, when Israelites were looking for water, food in the desert, it took their leader to intercede, to cry until the food was rained. When Karamoja is suffering in this drought, famine, no water, this was the time that the leaders like Anne are supposed to cry for their people. But this is the time God has chosen. And as someone said, it rained this morning. And to go to church when it was raining, and we saw the blessings of God. And we want to pray that God will give peace to the family. And I want to ask the family, trust in Jesus. He said, the peace I give you is not what the world gives. In John 14:27, trust even when nobody is around you, Jesus is going.
Honorable Okorimoi, then Engola, Oseku, then Jalia, then come here, then a few here. Yeah. Yes.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. I would like to support the motion. Madam Speaker, I also want to the people of Moroto. It is a great loss indeed. Moroto district is a district I hold in high esteem because they are the ones who groomed me into politics as an aid student in Kangole Girls Secondary School, Moroto High School, and while was a tutor in Moroto Teachers College at a time when the law still allowed public servants to serve in both offices. They groomed me before I went to my mother district of Kotido and Nabim. So condolences. Madam Speaker, I knew the late Honorable Annie when we were students in Kangole Girls Secondary School. And I happened to be the aid student of the school. She was buying me. We had Honorable Sege, Honorable Tubo Christine, Honorable Nawat Rosemary. Those were the girls at the time when I was aid student. And the school motto was grow to serve. We grew to serve. The school song was grow in truth and integrity and preserve those values. That is what I saw in Anne. She has been a very religious person, a very principled person, and a person who was committed to the work for which our people sent her. She never missed coming to my office for guidance, because we were the only two with her who were from Karamoja and in the leadership of committees. So she valued every guidance. And she had many brilliant ideas, which we are going to miss. She shared with me her dilemmas at the time when she was processing her letters. Indeed, there was some delay. That is why she had now to pick money from the vehicle money. She had not bought a vehicle, and she went for this operation. She kept giving us hope because we kept chatting on WhatsApp. I remember the last message I got from her after the operation was on the 8th. Everything was okay. She was asking, has Musamali gone through? Has so-and-so gone through? So when the message now came from the daughter telling us to pray for Honorable Ogiel, we could not stomach it. And the sad news now got me when I was in appointments.
Half a minute to conclude.
Madam Speaker, the late Honorable Ogiel was the first Madeniko girl to join Parliament. In Karamoja, we have 11 ethnic groups recognized by the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda. Moroto has always been represented, but this is the first time a Madeniko girl is coming to Parliament. So you can imagine what is back at home. We are told from the day people heard about her death, all women are flocking there. Everybody is speechless. Nobody is talking. So this is the kind of person we have lost. My sister, we have lost you. Rest in peace.
Honorable Engola, then Oseku, Ayepa, Lukumo.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. My name is Betty Engola, Woman Member of Parliament, Apache District. Right Honorable Speaker, this is what I want to say about our fallen colleague, Honorable Anne Logel. I just want to be plain. This is how I knew Anne. She was very polite, humble, organized in her work. In Anne, she was a warm-hearted lady. Not only that, Honorable Speaker, Anne was a person who had the desire to grow, which was very positive. Right Honorable Speaker, above all, Anne was a person who wanted others to succeed. There are many of us, when they get good things, they keep quiet. They hide it away from others. But she was exemplary. I know the people of Moroto, her voters, and Uganda will miss her greatly. May her soul rest in eternal peace. Thank you.
Oseku, Ayepa, Lukumo.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. My name is Oseku Richard, Member of Parliament, Kibale County in Palisa District. I would like to thank you, Honorable Speaker, for this special sitting, and to the members for having turned up in large numbers. I am also a nephew of the Karamojong, and I worked in Karamoja for 8 years. Specifically in Moroto, it was at a time when there was a lot of insecurity. And the warriors would come with the guns to the hospital. But the lady Anne would be there. She would not be scared. She's a person of a very strong character, very brave, but most especially, she was very humble. And I want to say this about leadership. You know, sometimes people think that you must be very aggressive. But Anne was such a humble lady, very polite, and that was more of a strength to me than even a person who may come up with an aggressive character. Madam Speaker, what has been said here, in my interpretation, is about mission and missionaries. We know missionaries to have been people who came from outside to propagate maybe religion, extend the healthcare, education. But we have never seen a person who was a missionary in her own place. And this is the lady who is before us here. A missionary in her own home. We have heard about the support she was extending to the community, and this is going to be lost. But we pray that some intervention comes in, and we want to ask government to really give more affirmative action to the area of Karamoja so that we uplift this area just like other areas. Now, Madam Speaker, what has been spoken about Anne and the support she was giving to the community is an indicator of what leaders go through, especially members of parliament in this house. We are endeavoring to close the gaps. Sometimes we are criticized, we are demonized by the community, but what Anne was doing, I'm sure it may not be in the same volumes, but all the members of parliament here are trying to do the same to the country. I think this is time parliament should be appreciated, members of parliament should be respected outside there in the community and in the government. They know and they should know that we are doing a lot to try to contribute to the development of this country. Lastly, Madam Speaker, I knew Anne, and even as a person, I met her, I would speak.
Then Rukumu, then the ilk are there. Rukumu, then the ilk, then the ministers will come last. The ministers will come last. Then I come to say.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I rise to support the motion. Madam Speaker, I speak as a member of parliament from Karamoja. I want to say we are really humbled and we are grateful for the support that the government of Uganda has given our sister, that the president personally has contributed, and parliament, Madam Speaker, for the support we received as members of parliament towards the burial of our sister. Madam Speaker, you have a very powerful team of staffs of parliament. They did a very wonderful job, and we are very grateful. Madam Speaker, since we started speaking about Anne, we have never spoken about the properties she has. Members, we have never spoken about the vehicles she has, about the houses she has built, but we have spoken about the love she has, the spirit she has. This is exactly what we are going to be judged by. We shall be judged for the good things we do for others. The 106 students she was paying. This is what we are going to be judged. The leader of opposition was asking, if you were the one, what would people talk about? What will they remember you for? They will never remember you for your houses. They will never remember you for your vehicles. They will remember you for what you do. What you do, not even for your children and relatives, but for others. Sustainable development goals, the spirit behind sustainable development goals, the spirit in the Bible is that we should love and care for one another. This is exactly the spirit that Anne got. I want to thank the mentors of Anne, the ones who brought Anne up, the Catholic Church, where she was, the sisters of the Catholic Church. I want to thank them for the support they gave to Anne. Members, I want also to say, there are three categories of people who help society. The family, and especially who help the poor. The family, the community, and government. So let us also, as we ask government to do their part, let us as community, as individuals, do our part like Anne has done. Finally, in order to remember Anne, in memory of Anne, I would request the Ministry of Health to fill up the staffing levels in the health and education in Karamoja. Can you imagine the whole of Amudat of all things, 23% only staffing level. So, Honorable Minister, if you really love our sister, let us this year fill the gap, increase the staffing levels in Karamoja, in all the health centers and hospitals and in all the schools. Let us fill the health gap.
Una Burukumu, Jalia, and then Ik, then I come this side.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I stand to support the motion in paying tribute to our fallen sister, mother, daughter, auntie, and a lover of Ugandans, and more specifically Karamojong, to attain the education which is due to them. Madam Speaker, I've known Honorable Anne as a cooperator and somebody who loved to save. She would visit the parliamentarian circle, and at one time I remember her advising us to get all the members to develop a culture of saving, and that is Honorable Anne. Madam Speaker, I want to remind this House that today, Honorable Anne is among the 4 honorable members whom we've lost here because of brain tumor. And there are others who are out there who are still suffering. And I know, Madam Speaker, you might be aware. Madam Speaker, I want to request the government, because as we speak, recently I received a message from one of the former members of parliament from Karamoja, informing us of how he was fundraising to take his father for an operation of the brain tumor. But also here we had a female member of parliament from Karamoja, a former member of parliament, who got bedridden for 3 months because of brain tumor. And Honorable Speaker, you can remember. This is an area where I'm asking the government to take keen interest in finding out the causes of brain tumor. Honorable Speaker, you may remember Honorable Matovu, also from the Kato corridor, had a brain tumor and we lost him here. So, Honorable Speaker, I'm raising this one because I remember last night when I was traveling to pay vigil, and we were discussing and we were trying to find out the causes. Some of these causes can be mitigated by the government. So that's why I'm requesting government to take in interest to find out the causes and be able to implement some of these policies which were put in place. Like tree planting. If we could have tree planting everywhere, even at barriers, we shall be able to mitigate some of these diseases, Honorable Speaker. One of the main causes of brain tumor, and Honorable Professor Niale articulated it, is because of climate change.
Yes, let's hear from the honorable member for Ik, then Aja, Achia, Abala, Onesimus, Gideon Onyango.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I would like to add my voice to what other members have said. Right Honorable Speaker, as the last born of the 10th Parliament in Karamoja, I feel that I have lost a mother who has been very polite and soft-spoken. Honorable Anne has been an asset to Karamoja and also to Uganda. Honorable Anne has been an ambassador in her dreams in fighting health problems in Karamoja and also Uganda. Honorable Anne has been a role model with rare personality, not only in Karamoja but also in Uganda. Honorable Anne has been a good shepherd. Honorable Anne has been a very keen person, respectful, responsible legislator. She has been trustworthy. As they say that few people who are good don't last. My condolences to the family. Thank you very much for standing with us in solidarity. Thank you very much for being strong. I know how painful losing a mother. Right Honorable Speaker, when I lost my mom, I was still very young as last born, like my brother. I know how painful, and I request him to be very strong. That it's not the end of life. There is still another life coming. Right Honorable Speaker, with those few words, I would like to send my condolences to people of Moroto and Karamoja. Honorable Speaker, we know we are missing her, and we shall not forget what she has done to Karamoja, to our family, to Uganda. May her soul rest in eternal peace. Amen.
Honorable Yanga, followed by Rex Achia, Onesimus.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, when we speak of Karamoja as a region and speak of Anne, I'm very, very well conversant with the region because I worked there for 7 years. I was in Namaru, that is in the Kapipiri district, and then later on I moved to Kabong in Kapedo and Kalenga when I was working with African Power Initiative. So I know the Karamojong as very good people. When you reach in the Karamojong, they want you to adopt their culture and live like them. They are they warmly welcome you, and you really feel it's indeed a very rich culture. Right Honorable Speaker, Honorable Anne is gone, but what have we got to learn from the departure of our honorable member who indeed lived an exemplary life among the Karamojong and among Ugandans? Very more often than not, when you move downtown here, you meet Karamojongs on the street. As government, and the way Anne has been living to try to see that these people get better education, how best can we move to move these children off the street such that when Anne is in heaven and seeing us here, she knows that the legislators she left are indeed legislators that really want the people of Karamoja, the people of Uganda to live a better life. Right Honorable Speaker, we are speaking of drought in the region. To what extent have we gone to feed and irrigate Karamoja as a region and bring it back and put it at the same level as other regions? We always talk about it as one of the remote and backward areas of Uganda. In Uganda, when you talk about education and you talk about free education, you will not meet any minister, not even a member of parliament here, including me, taking their children to UPE or USE schools. When they say free education, it's free indeed, free of knowledge. So it's high time we came out and believed in our education system, and we also live by it. When you talk about health, the health system is not healthy at all, it's sick. We need to believe in ourselves. Can government come up, and Right Honorable Speaker, the things we speak about here when we talk about health and education, could government give us at least deadlines on how best they are going to try and meet these targets in the shortest time possible? Because without education and without health, then the country is doomed. Right Honorable Speaker, a lot has been said about Anne, and all I will say is may her soul rest in eternal peace.
Achia, Onesimus.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Ntende.
Madam Speaker, I also rise to support the motion to pay tribute to the gallant lady of Uganda and of Karamoja, Anne Logel. I have known Anne Logel for as much as I've been in the education and issues in Karamoja. First time she came to talk to me was in 2002 when she wanted to go for further studies, and I'd just come back from the Republic of Ireland. So I gathered her on how to apply for a master's in public health, international health. That's when she went to Copenhagen. But in summary, as all of you may have known, I've really known now, she really lived, Madam Speaker, she lived a life of selflessness. Her aspiration, all the talk, all the discussion was how to help others. So sympathetic. At one time in 92, I had just also come back from Gulu. I was in Lasho Major Seminary during the conflict there. I left the seminary. It's at the same time she said, "No, why did you come back?" For me, I am going to Mbarara to join the sisters. And she went there for 3 years. She was in Mbarara from 92 to 94, wanting to be a nun. When she came back, she again went to the School of Midwifery. She wanted to find, what should I do to help? I have gone there, but I am not helping the women in Nadunget. And she came back to work with community women, to see how to help the children, to help the women. A life constantly in search of service to others. This is Anne. The second point I want to mention is that many people have noticed Anne was an extremely organized. That training she got from being a nun and from training to be a nurse. Before she left, Madam Speaker, she came to the Parliamentary Pension Scheme. She updated her records. She said, I don't know what will happen, but let me get this done. And that's why we are happy. Madam Speaker, we need to tell these MPs, right now out of 450 of them, over 100 we have written letters have failed to update their records. Now if you die, you will leave everybody in confusion. Your children, your husband, your in-laws, your relatives, you start fighting. Please update your records. That Anne has given us an example. Very organized. I have been signing letters for the whole of last month. People are not coming. They are just passing them by the corridor. Anne was very prayerful. Very prayerful. They know. In the parliamentary chaplains here. She prayed a lot. And lastly, Madam Speaker, just 1 minute. I want to thank members of this House. I have never seen, since I've been in this House, since the 8th Parliament, members standing in such huge numbers to pay tribute. And I want to thank you. I don't know how she influenced all of you so quickly, but I want to thank you, and I thank you, Madam Speaker, for the foresight to budget for such events. You can imagine how would we have brought Anne from outside. Even the money people were crying too much. You can't believe how much we have spent for bringing her in Entebbe, in the home, in the village, and up to now, and even going to finally put her to rest. Thank you, Madam Speaker, for this foresight, and we really thank the members of Parliament, this Parliament, for this support. Thank you very much.
Onesimus, Ntende, Onyango, Abala Ariko, then you come with the ministers.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I stand in unison with my colleagues to support the motion to pay tribute to our fallen comrade. Right Honorable Speaker and honorable members, on behalf of the people of Bugangais East constituency, I pass on our deepest condolences to the family of Honorable Logel Anne and to the people of Uganda. Madam Speaker, it's a huge loss to the people of Moroto district, the people of Karamoja, and all Ugandans for losing an intelligent and health professional in the names of Honorable Ogier Ann. Right Honorable Speaker, it's quite difficult to describe the life of Honorable Ann. She has been very respectful to everyone. She was respecting everyone. She was very kind and down-to-earth person. Right Honorable Speaker, a lot has been said about our health. Honorable Kota Gwang talked about the substandard goods in supermarkets to be seen as contributing to the rise of cancer in Uganda. Right Honorable Speaker, that's not enough, because the fact is we need to do more in as far as caring for our lives is concerned. We are all going to die, Right Honorable Speaker, because most of us, our eating habits are not good. Right Honorable Speaker, it's already proven beyond any doubt that eating raw foods is very healthier than eating cooked foods. I think the medics will actually, will maybe rectify more on this. But Right Honorable Speaker, even we've just had lunch in the restaurant there. We always have this cooked food and all that. And really, we are not healthy. Right Honorable Speaker, I will actually ask the Minister of Health to, for sure, move a step, ahead and sensitize Ugandans on what foods we should be eating. Because if we are to eat raw foods, for sure we are not going to die. Yes, Dr. Rugunda is supporting me because he's health.
Honorable Ntende, then Onyango, Abala.
Thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker.
Rico, then I need to get a few members here.
I raise to support the motion.
There are the workers.
Thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker. I raise to support the motion, paying tribute to our foreign colleague, Honorable Ann. Honorable Speaker, I've been serving with Ann on the Committee of HIV/AIDS. At the same time, we've been working together on the Parliamentary Forum for Children. The late Honorable Ann has been the representative of the Northern region. And I speaking, I represent the Eastern region. I remember vividly, Right Honorable Speaker, when we converged at Munyonyo to elect leadership for this forum. In the night, I was proposed. We did our Kakuyege, and it was already that I'm unopposed. But in the morning, when another person came up to contest with me, Right Honorable Speaker, the late Ann came out strongly and said, no, nobody should really stand against Honorable Ntende, because since night, we had agreed that he goes unopposed. And indeed, this person was her colleague from Karamoja region who had come up to not contest with me. But she struggled to come the colleague to pull out until the colleague withdrew. And I actually went unopposed through that process. Right Honorable Speaker, when you examine critically the background of the late Ann, you realize a person who rose from a humble background, from an enrolled nurse to an international master's degree in health, is a high achievement. And especially to a female student from Karamoja, this woman lying in the state today is a woman of high integrity, a woman that this country has lost. Right Honorable Speaker, I want to say that Honorable Anne was a woman of substance, a woman who actually feared God. We had an opportunity to travel together, but I want to tell you that all that journey, you members could see her as a quiet person, but for me, she entertained me right from Mumbai up to Kampala here. And to her, you would see a person with maybe a gloomy face, but inside there.
Honorable Onyango Abala, Ariko. Then I get some ladies, and we get the ministers. I'm coming.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. I stand to pay tribute to our fallen hero, our sister and colleague, Honorable Anne. I first met our fallen friend in 2009 at Uganda Christian University when we both enrolled for a program in public administration. She enrolled for a diploma and I enrolled for a master's. She was very visionary. In 2010, you are all aware, if you enroll for a postgraduate diploma, you can proceed with research and graduate with a master's. But in 2010, she stood by her word and says, I'm graduating with my diploma. And her reason was that she was preparing herself to join politics. And being a scientist, she wanted to acquaint herself with political science and leadership-related courses. And indeed, when we met here, her dream had come to pass. This is not usual for people to dream and finally have their dreams realized in the way they have planned. At that time when we met, I was working in Chiruhura. And at that time, she was working in Moroto Hospital. She felt a lot of pain to see a young, energetic man from the East serving in the West. And she was always emphasizing that we need to have the love for our communities where we are born. And indeed, she was offering herself selflessly to serve the people of Karamoja.
Abala, Ariko, Driwaru, then I come this side.
Yeah, thanks so much, Madam Speaker. A lot has been said. I want to bring my condolences from the people of Ngora County and Teso in general. That I have lost my auntie. In fact, for the people of Teso, call the Karamojong people as our aunties and uncles. So now that our auntie has gone, it will be bad manners not for me not to say anything here in this house. And specifically, I want to say, she was a person, number one, who was prayerful, a person who knew what to be done when and how. And every time we used to sit somewhere around there. And when there's something I want to raise, she would say, please add this one on top of what you're going to say. And that's the person who is actually lying here. Madam Speaker, since she has been a good Christian, it will be unfair for us not to read the Bible. I'm going to read 2 verses from the Bible specifically that fit this occasion today. I'm going to read Revelation chapter 21, verse 4. And it says, and God shall wipe away all tears from their eyes, and there shall be no more death, neither sorrow nor crying, neither shall there be any more pain, for the former things have passed away. Friends, as we are here, I am sure all of us are mourning. All of us are crying. From whichever day you heard about it, up now we are crying. And even tomorrow we shall continue crying. But I'm sure the Bible says God is going to wipe all away our tears as member of parliament. Finally, the last verse. Romans chapter 14, verse 8. It says, For whether we live, we live unto the Lord. And whether we die unto the Lord. Whether we live therefore, nor die, we are for the Lord. Friends, I want to say, as Christians, as people of Uganda, we must continue praying for the family, that the family gets courage and augmented to continue living, because I'm sure God will not leave them alone. May God bless you, colleagues. Have a nice time.
Honorable Driwaru.
Right Honorable Speaker, honorable colleagues, I stand here to second the motion to pay tribute to our fallen colleague. Right Honorable Speaker, I will albeit do a different thing. Right Honorable Speaker, they say music soothes the soul, poetry heals the heart. A poem to you, our dear Honorable Annie Logel. We thought of you with love today, but that is nothing new. We thought about you yesterday, and days before that too. We think of you in silence. We often speak of your name. We just thought we would say, we love you and goodbye. We will miss you so dearly, O gentle Honorable Annie, and we promise we won't cry. For you will give way to take a point of information. We will never forget your submissions. How happy were you to speak to us on your maiden speech. With gentility and humility, Madam Speaker, you said, you know you will always be with us wherever we will go. No one needs to show us, but we will know. We don't know what to do, Honorable Annie. We never thought we would lose you. But where do we go from here? We still haven't got a clue. But the tidings of the Heavenly Father, shall we find your charm and a smile so jolly. We hope you will watch over us. Be our guiding light on a point of procedure, giving us the strength we need when we are out of order. To win this endless fight of service to our nation, you are our guardian, O Angel Annie, sitting on our shoulders, whispering your words of wisdom, words of information, words of clarification, to use as we grow older in the service of this house. We don't want to say goodbye, but we will again someday meet. We will pick up where we left off before you went away. Now all we have is memories and your picture in a frame. Your memory is our keepsake with which we will never part. God has you in his keeping. We have you in our heart. Rest in peace, O gentle soul. Rest in peace, Honorable Annie Logel. Adapted from Rose Leon and Melissa Mu, published in 2007. We pay tribute to you. Rest in peace, our honorable colleague. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you so much for that poem. Mwana Driwaru. Driwaru, then Adome Chekamondo, Rakimari, Kunihira. Then I come to the...
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I rise here to pay tribute to our fallen colleague. Right Honorable Speaker, the late Honorable Anne is a truthful woman whose truthfulness I confirmed when the news of her death arrived here. She told me one time she has got so many children that she's supporting. She told me she's supporting over 100 children. It was not easy for me to believe because she's a first timer in this 10th parliament. When the news of her death arrived, all the radio stations in West Nile were talking about her support to children. Indeed, the support was over 100. Really, the person we have lost today is a very resourceful person. My appeal to government of Uganda is, we have lost very resourceful person in the names of Honorable Anne. We are losing other resourceful persons outside there unnoticed. We are losing our people because sometimes it's not because we do not have personnel to handle health issues. Sometimes it's not because our facilities are not adequate enough. A case at hand, a man brought his child to Cancer Institute in Mulago. When he brought his child there, the man requested to move out of the country. The doctors told him, we can handle this issue. But the man insisted. When he reached South Africa, he was overcharged for drugs that were given free in Mulago Hospital. We have got attitudinal problem. The government of Uganda must work very hard to change the attitude of the people. In Mulago Hospital, certain drugs are given free of charge, but people opt to go out. Let the government see into that people are going out because there's no sensitization. We have got trained doctors. These doctors cannot work well because if a sensor machines like in Cancer Institutes break down, definitely it will give mindset to people that they cannot get the best services in Uganda, yet that shouldn't have been the case. Right, Honorable Speaker. The summary I can give about our fallen colleague is, she is a truthful woman that we know in this 10th parliament. She is a hard-working woman. This is a lady who is demonstrative enough. Her hard working demonstrated the power of women in this country, more especially in Karamoja, where people believe that those women cannot read, cannot support, cannot do many things that others are doing.
Honorable Adome, Chekamondo, Rakimari, Kunihira. Then
thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I rise up to support the motion where we are paying tribute to our fallen colleague. A lot has been said about Anne Logel. I'm standing here as an OG. I happen to have gone through Kangole Girls. And as many know, especially those who come from Karamoja region, Kangole Girls is a missionary school. I want to take this opportunity to thank the missionaries for molding Anne to a person who she is. And I want to attest in this house, I think there are over ladies that have gone through that school. And I want to say that the denominator amongst them is the humility that you have seen in Anne. We were together in the AIDS committee with Anne, but most often I met Anne at the chapel when we would have the Tuesday masses. Indeed, Anne was a humble person, like most of us have alluded to. We have missed her, and the nation is missing her. But coming to what she has been doing to our people in Karamoja, it is a great loss to the people of Karamoja. It is a great loss to the people of Uganda. I know we've always gone through these streets of Kampala, and there are so many children from Karamoja that are on these streets. I think as a Parliament of Uganda, we need to do something about it. Otherwise then, this legacy would have been lost. She had a dream in education. Can we do something as a Parliament? Can we have an affirmative action? I know the government has done something for Karamoja, but I think it is not enough. we need to do something in remembrance of Anne. She cherished education. She had a heart for her people, especially the destitute. Can we do something so that at the end of the day, while she rests up there, she would have known that yes, indeed, her efforts were not in vain.
No, Chikamondo, then Rakimari.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for this opportunity. Madam Speaker, I rise up to support the motion. Madam Speaker, on behalf of the people of Sebei in general and Kapchora in specifically, I rise to support this motion and say that we've lost Anne. Anne has been a very unique person. Madam Speaker, I have known Anne in this parliament as a close friend of Honorable Okoromoi. Whenever Anne was around and Okoromoi was around, you would see them sticking together. And shortly, I've missed her because there was something we had planned to work together with Honorable Okoromoi and Honorable Anne, and Anne suggested it. Right Honorable, while I was in India, sick, the Committee of Health went to Kapchora district. And while I was there, I was not aware that this committee had gone there. Honorable Anne called me when I was in India and said, Chikamondo, I thank you for what you have done in your district. And she said, what I have seen here, we need to integrate it to other health centers, because my health workers in the district, our health workers had been very creative, especially in the wards, and she was promising that this year, in May, she wanted to invite those health workers from Kapchorwa to integrate and share information of what they were doing in the hospital in Kapchorwa, so that they can also borrow the ideas to Karamoja. So Karamoja has really lost somebody who was very willing and who could learn and try to transfer the same knowledge to her people. Madam Speaker, while in India, when I was sick, I had a problem. I also went there for treatment. But I took time to ask those people in India, what is it that you have done that has brought all people, everybody who falls sick, who wants to come to India? He told me three things. That in the first place, Uganda has very trained doctors, but you lack three things.
Honorable.
Madam Speaker, she said what?
Half a minute to conclude. Half a minute to conclude. You conclude.
The three things that we lack. One is that you have very trained doctors, but you lack equipment. Two, that when our people get operated, because of the few numbers of doctors, when after correct operation, after operation care is what we also lack. So he said for them, when they have the equipment, and the care after operation is what they take as very serious. And thirdly, he said, for you in your country, you have left the country bare. You don't have trees. So I told them, what have you done with the trees? Because when you reach there, even at Parliament here would be having trees. Those people told me they looked for trees which don't have lateral roots, those that go deep. So that even if they planted just at the veranda here, it would not affect their walls. And I found in their area, the whole place was green, and it says that was one of the things that contributed to their health. So, Madam Speaker, I call upon this Parliament and government that we should do something to improve on the equipment.
Honorable Rakimari, then Kunihira, then Ogwal, and then we will close.
Madam Speaker,
After here,
thank you for giving me
you
this
come in,
opportunity to pay tribute to our friend, to our colleague, Honorable Anne Logi. Honorable Anne Logi was my vice chairperson on the Committee of Health. And as my colleagues have testified, she was a very calm person, very cool-headed, down-to-earth, selfless, and a very astute member of the committee. And as a health committee, we shall miss her counsel, experience, and knowledge on health issues, as they have already said. And for me, I think the family should take heart, considering the testimonies that have been given in this house about Honorable Anne Rogi. And the honorable member is already in heaven. And for me, I think what will make her smile even more is to carry on her legacy. She was very, very passionate about health issues, especially maternal health issues. And on this note, I want to thank the government for the effort building more health centers in this country. But I feel that is not enough. The most valuable resource that any country can be proud of is its people. And therefore, we may build hospitals, we may do a lot of physical infrastructure, but if we do not look into the conditions of the health workers in this country, we shall have done disservice to Honorable Anne Rogi and Honorable Mongerera, whom we mourned the other day. And therefore, I would like to call government to make a paradigm shift and focus on the issue of health workers in this country. Please increase their enumeration.
No, Kunihira, then Ogwal, then the Minister of Health and the Government Chief Whip.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I join my colleagues to support the motion to pay tribute to our sister, Honorable Anne. Madam Speaker, I knew Anne. I've known Anne for more than 10 years. I met her at Zambia Hospital. She was upgrading. She was doing a course, a diploma course at Zambia Hospital. At that time, I had escorted a friend who was in labor. But we found her in the ward. She gave us the caring that we deserved. And since that time, I picked interest in her. I continued to contact her whenever I went to Zambia Hospital until the time she left and went back to Karamoja. When we met here at Parliament, we were surprised because we had stayed for some time without hearing from each other. She asked me the constituency I was representing. When I told her that I was for workers, she said, now Agnes, we are going to work together because health workers in this country have a lot of issues. In fact, the colleagues have already raised the issues she mentioned. She talked of the staffing levels. She talked of the accommodation of the health workers, and she promised that we are going to work together to see that we take forward those interests. When she was picking the committees, I asked her again, which committees are you going to pick? She told me that any committee without a word health, I will not go to that committee. And indeed, she went on the HIV and health committee. It is unfortunate that she has passed on without fulfilling her interests on that committee. I call upon members here that let us try to ensure that Karamoja and other areas are worked on in terms of staffing, and we also call upon government to work with all the other area members of Parliament to ensure that problems of health in their areas are solved. May her peace rest in eternal peace. Thank you.
Thank you. Honorable Ogwal, then Dr. Honorable Moriku and the Government Chief Whip.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, for giving us opportunity to pay tribute to the daughter of Uganda, who has passed on at this time. Right Honorable Speaker, in the book of Ecclesiastes chapter 3, it talks about every season having a story to tell. There is a season to cry and there is a season to laugh. There's a season to be born and there is a season to die. Right Honorable Speaker, this is a sad season for Parliament and for the family of Anne, who has passed on at this material time when we most needed her. Right Honorable Speaker, personally, there is no way I would have known Honorable Anne, but I was curious about her name, the name of Logi. So the name Logi in Luo means wash your hands. Logi means wash your hands. So I was wondering, why is this person corrupting Luo? And I had to look for this lady who is corrupting our language. And she said, actually, it's neither a Luo name, nor is it a Ugandan word, but it is a name of a foreigner. And that is when I learned that she is actually not married to a Ugandan, but to a foreigner. So from that time, I thought there was something unique about this lady. What I came to discover later, Right Honorable Speaker, is that this lady was actually the vice chairman of a committee, a first-timer. And not only that, she became even the vice chairman of the Karamoja parliamentary group. To me, women of Uganda, you have lost a very powerful seed of leadership. And the people of Karamoja, for you to find a woman who can stand out to be in the national leadership is not a simple thing. Right Honorable Speaker, some of us have struggled even to be recognized, to be a vice chairman of something. Even for our speaker, to be a speaker, it took long and pain to convince the world that with all the distinguished qualifications she had to remain at the basement, vice something, vice something, vice something. But for a first timer to be vice, it means this lady had the potential to be the real one, and we have lost her. I feel so sad, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, one thing we have done, which is not right and not traditional, is that we have talked everything good about Anne. We have not acknowledged the role of our son-in-law. Some of us who have been in politics, we have acknowledged that without the support, the intimate support of your spouse, of your husband, you cannot make it. So I want to register my appreciation to our son-in-law. That take our voice home and let them know that we love you, we shall embrace you as our son, and we'll be very happy if the Karamojong could allow you to settle in Uganda, to make us continue to remember our daughter and take care of our children and grandchildren and the community. What also did not come out, Right Honorable Speaker, this lady was not only a health worker. This lady came up with a special health initiative to help the community, particularly the mothers, in maternal health. I'm really touched that we will talk about everything good about the lady, her qualification, and you did not talk about how this lady was touching the life of the mothers who are delivering.
No, Honorable Gwal, the Prime Minister in his motion spoke about that.
I agree, but yes. I thought my fellow Karamojongs should have raised it because they are benefiting. They are directly benefiting. And now that she's gone, they should have been...
Honorable Loki also talked about it. Please.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I thank you very much for that, but I thought it should have been a word coming from every mouth. I want to conclude by saying, Right Honorable Speaker, that every time when we lose a member of parliament, we talk a lot about what we ought to have done, which we failed to do. One thing I know, and which this parliament has not quite come out with it, is that the environment is causing a lot of sicknesses and disease which are still not known. And I'm begging the Prime Minister who is here and the mover of the motion and the cabinet, although they are always not very good at attending such meetings, to really take trouble to get the country to understand how can we improve our environment. This parliament passed a law on Kavera. Right Honorable Speaker, in the presence of the Prime Minister, people are still using Kavera as if there is no law. But you cannot see this thing happening in Rwanda or in other countries. Why is it so difficult for Ugandans to implement the law which we ourselves are passed? So I think, Right Honorable Speaker, let us do what we ought to do and avoid what we ought not to have done. I want to thank you very much for giving us this opportunity, Right Honorable Speaker, and for the support you have given the family. And we pray that as a commission, we'll continue to stand with the family and will ensure that the clerk of parliament will provide the vehicle to enable some members who may want to attend the burial ceremonies. May God bless you so much. I thank you very much.
As Minister of State for Health comes, I just wanted to say that we made the National Forest Authority Act, where we were supposed to have tree planting days 15 years ago. We still don't have them. We're supposed to have a tree fund. We still don't have it. Honourable Minister. And then the Government Chief Whip.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker and honourable colleagues. On behalf of Ministry of Health and on my own behalf and the entire people of Moyo District, whom I represent on this floor, I stand to support the motion to pay tribute to the late Honorable Anne. Madam Speaker, we have indeed lost an extraordinary healthcare professional. As Ministry of Health, I want to convey our sincere condolences to the family members and the entire people of Moroto and the entire people of Karamoja region. Madam Speaker, Honorable Anne was so passionate on issues of education and training of healthcare professionals. She raised this on the first meeting when we interfaced the Committee of Health. And she was so much concerned, especially on improving the quality of nurses and midwives. Madam Speaker, I want to say that we will live to recall the legacy of Honorable Anne. As I speak, a lot is being done on this area of improving the quality of healthcare workers. We have interministerial meetings that has been going between Ministry of Education, Ministry of Health, Ministry of Finance, and health regulatory councils. And I want to say that the vision of Honorable Al certainly will live to recall her legacy, because we are all working as government to ensure that the quality of our healthcare professionals is improved in this country. Secondly, Madam Right Honorable Speaker, I want to thank my colleagues for sharing the challenges that they have raised in the health sector. As government, honorable colleagues, we have really made a lot of success stories, and there are quite a number of successes registered in the health sector. However, we also have challenges. But I want to say this, Right Honorable Speaker. The most important aspect that we should manage is our attitude towards the health sector, Madam Speaker. We have got very good facilities, especially the equipments. We have the best healthcare professionals. But as I speak, Madam Honorable Speaker, my senior was out of the country for official duty. I've been in the office. And I must tell this, that we had 2 colleagues who came to the office so that I should sign and they go out of the country to get treatment. Madam Speaker, the chairperson of the board boldly recommended that those cases can be handled in the country because we have the facility, we have the doctors. But because these are senior colleagues, these are people that they think the attitude that it cannot be handled in our country, they insisted, it is on record that I had to sign it, Madam Speaker. If we continue with such attitude, as we improve Mulago Hospital to be a super specialized...
This is a tribute. No procedure, no point of order.
As we improve Mulago Hospital to be a super specialist, certainly we need to really embrace our healthcare system. Madam Speaker, it's unfortunate that we talk about preventive measures, but many of us, all of us as leaders, we are not embracing preventive and health promotion. And I want to say that as we talk about improving the healthcare system, certainly we have challenges which needs our collective effort to ensure that we commit to improve it, certainly. But I want to appeal that let's also embrace the preventive measures of healthcare. Let's promote the health. I'm talking about, we have to intensify, Madam Speaker, on campaign awareness of some of these diseases that we can prevent. Exercises, yes. Screening for blood pressure, screening for cancers, and many those really that we can prevent. That is my humble appeal, and I want to commit as government that we'll try our best to improve the healthcare services as we try every year to make a difference. With your support, I believe we will make a difference in the healthcare support, in the healthcare system. Madam Speaker, as I conclude, once again, I really want to thank you for giving us this opportunity to pay tribute to our dear beloved sister, whom many have talked positively about it. And as health sectors, indeed, as I said, we have really missed her, and we will continue live to recall her legacy. And once again, I commit as Ministry of Health, will continue to improve, working towards improving the healthcare system in the country with the support of my colleagues. I thank you.
Let me invite the Government Chief Whip to speak.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I want to join my colleagues who have supported the motion to pay tribute to our beloved sister. Right Honorable Speaker and colleagues, it is 10 days now since Anne took her last breath. This is not a short period. It is a period of denial where everybody keeps on asking whether it is true that actually she passed on until the body arrives. And that's why people come to view the body. Even at that time, still people can live in denial. It is a period of heavy grief. And therefore I want to join the rest of you who have passed on your condolences to the family, to the widower, the children, and the friends. Right Honorable Speaker, let me say this, because I've been reflecting on it. At the time when we were discussing the budget proposal of the Parliamentary Commission, and we put the proposal to cater for the departed MPs, you remember what appeared in the papers. The people were talking about rice, sodas, meat, what? It's as if Parliament was extravagant. The Parliamentary Commission was tasked to make sure that we are not taken by surprise. Yes, we know this is the 10th Parliament. We know what has been happening in every Parliament. What happened in the 9th Parliament? 8th. We have to be prepared. You can imagine in 10 days what has been happening in Moroto, in Entebbe, in Parliament, in Denmark, expenditures. And I want to thank you for your leadership, for your stamina, to make sure that this institution is allowed to budget and prepare for the leaders of this country. We have seen it today. And I want to call upon everybody to stand with the institution. Government is supporting. We never questioned this budget. We supported the Parliamentary Commission. Let me now take this chance also to thank His Excellency the President, who visited the family yesterday evening himself. I talked to Mama Janet Museveni when we were in cabinet, and she delivered her apologies. You know very well that this couple is part of the Karamajong family. The president has been planning to move, to put a mark in Karamoja region, and we have registered success. So I want to thank the president. He personally passed on his message to the family, a message towards assisting the children, a message towards assisting the family. I want to thank the UPDF, the CDF, Chief of Defense Forces, whom I talked to and requested him to give us transport to Moroto tomorrow. And a helicopter is provided for that. We were stranded. We were very stranded. I first talked to the IGP, and his chopper had a mechanical problem. I went to the CDF, and straight away, General Muhoozi said, "Oh, ma'am, I will provide transport tomorrow, but we must make sure that we arrive safely. We will not be able to leave after 3, which is today. Kindly ask Parliament to allow us move on Saturday at 8 a.m. because we want to reach safely." So I salute UPDF. Let me salute Parliament. I said this in church at Christ the King. Right Honorable Speaker, you have a team. You have a team which works together in times of sorrow and times of happiness. In church, I suggested that we should formalize the caucus of the whole house, because we have identified what joins us, whether you like it or not. Ever since Anne left us, people have been moving around. My staff has been coordinating, and everybody was concerned. They were asking, when is burial? What do we do? I was in Entebbe yesterday at the home. I left in the morning. There were still colleagues seated there. I want to thank all of them. I cannot begin mentioning all of you. I, for one, I got to know Anne after swearing in, because before that, they were in the hands of the Secretary General. But after swearing in, they got close and closer to the government chief whip. When we are constituting committees and leadership of the committees, Right Honorable Speaker, we, in my office, ask for academic papers, academic credentials to accompany your application. These leadership posts are applied for. There were a lot of competition on every post. On every post. So I am in charge of shortlisting, so that I forward the shortlisted list to the Central Executive Committee. When I looked through the papers of Anne, I straight away shortlisted her and presented the Central Executive Committee and she did not find any problem. The name did not find any problem. All of you, including you, Right Honorable Speaker, you just said, this is the right person. A lady, she will do the work. So I started interacting with her. As I wind up, when she was leaving, Right Honorable Speaker, she told me 3 times, whenever she phoned me, Chief Whip, I am processing my papers. I have a problem. I will be flying out. I have a tumor. But pray for me. Pray for me 3 times. And I said, Anne, we shall pray for you. When I received the news, I was shocked. We can't get used to death. Death can throw you down, even if you were a general. So we prayed for her, but God who gave her to us has decided that this is the most appropriate time to carry her to his place, probably. We want to believe that. And we want to thank God for her accomplishes. We shall always remember you, Anne. Right Honorable Speaker, the lead of government business has also authorized me to inform this House about what you raised as your concern, the delays that the medical board takes to authorize processes. From now onwards, the chairman of the board is authorized to handle matters of utmost urgency himself, where a board meeting cannot be called immediately to save the situation. He has been authorized to handle the emergency so that we don't, spend a lot of time. I want to thank you all for the support, and I want to pray for Johnny Mercies tomorrow, and I want to pray to God that he takes over Sunday, all the burial processes on Sunday. May God bless you all and rest in peace.
Thank you, Honour Members. I know that many folks still want to contribute, but Eric and the children are tired. They have not slept for several hours, and also wanted them to leave when still light, but 30 members have spoken, so I think we would like to close the debate. I just want to say 2 things. One, to thank Eric for his love, his support to Anne, all that time in sickness, in the campaign. Campaigns are very hard. They really put pressure on the families. So I want to thank him. We want to thank the children for their support. Now, I shouldn't say that, I just want to say that the death of Anne, I hope, has informed the Ugandans that the money we budgeted for funerals is not given to the members of parliament. We just budget for it. If nobody dies, we don't spend it. And certainly it is not given to the members. It remains in the hands of the clerk until it is needed. I also hope that they have understood that running funerals for 10 days is expensive. Bring back Anne from abroad is expensive. Whatever has happened since the day we had the announcement is 10 days. There was a time some members here were also saying that this money is, I told them, don't talk about things you don't know. The members here were saying, so I said, don't talk about things you don't know. So here we are, but we want to thank Anne for the work she did in that short time. She was not a very old person. I didn't know that she was sick. I just used to meet and laugh. Then one day, early this year, she walked into my office, said, I've come to brief you officially about my health situation. She told me about the operation many years ago, the recovery, but now the reoccurrence. She was very composed, very dignified, very courageous. And I think by the time we separated, both of us knew that things could go either way. I think she knew that things could go either way. So I would salute her really for her courage and her dignity. So now, members, I put the question that this House do pay tribute to the Honorable Anne Logi as proposed by the Prime Minister. Those in favor say aye, the contrary no. I have it. I now direct the clerk to extract the Hansard and give it to the family and also send them the tribute when it is finalized and signed. Thank you.
Honorable members, please stand for the national anthem, and then the anthem is in reverse order, after which the casket will leave. Honorable members, please remain standing until the casket leaves the chamber.
Honourable members, I want to thank you very much for coming and paying tribute to our colleague. As indicated, there will be some transport tomorrow for those who will be able to go in the morning. Be here at 8 o'clock. The buses will be available. Otherwise, honourable members, House adjourned to Tuesday at 9:30 in the morning. Tuesday 28th is the day we are having elections for the IALA, and each member must be allowed to speak, and there are 47? I think there are 47. So we shall assemble here at 9:30, start listening, and then after they have spoken, we shall adjourn. The voting will take place in the car park. We shall have 4 polling booths, and we shall distribute the voters according to the alphabet. Each booth will have particular numbers, maybe about 100, so that we can do it quickly. So 9:30 in the morning on Tuesday. House adjourned.